Welcome back to the Kiwi Wedding Podcast. My name is Lydia. I'm a wedding photographer here in Auckland at Lydia Rachel Photography and your host. Today I'm sharing a really special chat with Natalie. You may know her as Natalie Rose Bridal. We've had a few of her brides on here sharing their stories, and I've known her for a while, and she's just the most beautiful person, has an incredible dress shop in Parnell Road in Auckland. She may have seen if you're a local, and I just know everyone that has been here has the most beautiful experience with her and her team. This episode was the first one I've ever recorded in person, so that was a fun experience in itself. Big shout out to Leighton, Natalie's husband, who's a videographer, and helped a bit on the technicals getting us all set up. But yeah, it was really lovely to be in the Pink Palace and chatting all things her business, how she got started, what to expect when shopping for your wedding dress, a realistic timeline and the minimum time you need, why dress shopping can be quite an emotional and vulnerable experience and what she sees with her brides, how to navigate the many opinions that arise in the fitting room, some amazing tips that you may be overlooking, and we also chat about trends, what timeless really means and why that might not be the thing to focus on. We talk about what a truly great dress shopping experience is, and she just shares so much advice and wisdom. I know you guys are going to get a lot out of this episode. Before we get into it, I wanted to also remind you that tickets are now on sale for our in-person live event on August 31st. It is in Auckland. We have some incredible food, drinks, goodie bags, and guest speakers. We've got the amazing Kate Solly, makeup artist, Trish Peng, dress designer, and Astrid Braid, wedding planner from PS I Love You. This is for brides, couples, people in their wedding planning era, and also wedding vendors as well. You will get to meet other people and learn a lot. So I'd absolutely love to see you there, and early bird tickets are available till the end of this week. I'll put the link in the show notes so you can grab yours now. Let me know what you think of this episode, drop a comment and pop over to Instagram to see some photos from Nat as well. Enjoy episode 107 with Natalie. Hi Nat.
Hey.
Thanks so much for joining me on the podcast.
You're
I feel like
welcome.
It's been a long time coming. I've had a few of your brides on who always rave about you and this Pink Palace, which is so special that we're doing it in person today. My first ever in-person recording, for the podcast. So cool. And I know, I've heard so many stories and experiences from people coming here and finding their dream dress. So I'm excited to pick your brain and get into it.
Great, let's do it.
So to start us off with, if you could just share a bit about your business journey, what kind of led you to starting Natalie Rose Bridal, and what's kind of shaped your approach along the way.
Cool. That's kind of two questions. Hey?
You and
No, that's good. My journey into bridal is simultaneously romantic and chaotic, let's just say. I had a pretty interesting upbringing, but one of the things that I was incredibly proud of as a child was my mother could make wedding dresses. And it gets me emotional every time. Because appreciate kids are brutal, right? When you're a child, you're actually brutal. You've got no EQ. And there'd be these conversations in school playgrounds about, oh, my dad does this and my mum does this. And we were on benefits and we had nothing. But my mum could make wedding dresses. And so there was always this sense of pride for me when it came to my mum and her occupation. And, she did it to put food on the table. It wasn't an atelier where I was draping the minute I came out the womb. So there was romance there and there was beauty and all of that. But then, I didn't actually like sewing at all. I don't know if anyone's used Benina from the 80s, but they're incredibly terrifying. And I finished school and I got into banking and finance, and I spent 10 years in the world of financial services. And you know, it was commission based, it was a sales role, and it taught me the harder you work, the more you'll be rewarded. And I was in the UK, and I thought I was going to do my own financial practice. And I did all my certificates in financial advice, but before me and Leighton came back to New Zealand, and we'd been engaged for a few years, and I realised, oh, New Zealand doesn't have the wedding dress that I'm looking for. So I did this kind of last minute shopping trip, and I found my dress. But in that process of being a bride, a light bulb just went on for me, and it was like almost like my life flashed before my eyes a little bit, and I saw, you know, my history with mum, and I'd already saved up the capital to open up my practice, and I did full 180, and I decided to open up a bridal boutique instead of doing a financial practice. So I had, you know, really good work ethics that had been sort of beaten into me, because when I was in the finance world, like, it was still old school. I always laugh about the bank that I first started in, because it was literally an old bank that's now a museum. Amazing. It was that old. And, you know, I would process checks on this machine with like these pedals. Wow. It was so archaic. It was primordial. And like, it was just such an old school upbringing. So then, to like do this 180, but it was the most obvious decision. Me and Leighton were in our quarantine hotel, and I was looking at leases in Parnell. So that's how I got here. And it's funny, like, life is one of those things where sometimes things make no sense, and then all of a sudden it all makes sense. And yeah, I mean, it was the best decision I ever made, opening up this place. Like this, I am Natalie Rose, so you know, it's amazing. And then in terms of my sort of approach with bridal fashion is structure, good structure, good corsetry. When women come in here and they say, I'm looking for a low back wedding dress, I say, you've come to the wrong place. I don't do low backs, because the minute you take the back out of the dress, you remove all the structure. So structure is really important to me. But dresses that just feel that little bit more special, like, I'm not for the anti-bride, I'm not for the nonchalant cool bride, I'm for the bride, you know? And so I think that would be my approach, would be good structure, and like just something that's a little bit special, even if it's got no detail. Has it got some amazing neckline that just feels, you know, chic? You know? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. So cool to hear a bit of that journey, and not necessarily where you thought you'd end up at the start of your career, but actually feels so aligned. And even that financial experience, I can imagine, helps you in business now, and just that like work ethic as well. You can see that with you and your brand. So you know, and I think there's so much stuff online now about balance and finding balance, and I'm like, no, do you know what? Balance is a lie. When you're self-employed, you, for the first 4 years of this place, I did work 100-hour weeks. I would get up, I would be answering DMs from brides until the minute I went to bed. Like Leighton can tell you, 10 p.m. at night, I was still talking. And like, that's the reality. If you want to build something successful, no, do not find balance. No, do not go to Waiheke on a wine trip, you know, like work. Yeah, amazing. And quite like bold of you to open during that time, because it would have been still sort of peak pandemic.
It was,
right?
It was wild, but it was great, because if you can get through that, you can get through anything. And I have actual war stories, not war stories, sorry, that was a bad phrase, but I have stories now to tell my grandchildren one day about our contactless fittings, which we would literally...
How does that even work?
Exactly, it doesn't. But what we would do is I would literally bag up my dresses and dress bags, chuck them in the boot of my car, and drive out to people's houses, and then we'd put down a nice mat or whatever, and I'd drop the dresses on this mat in the garage or on the, you know, and I'd consult these people from 2 meters away. And like, it was ridiculous, but do you know what? We made it work. And the thing with weddings is the show must go on. People have lives they're getting on with. They want to have kids. They want to buy their house. They want to go overseas. And so often weddings have to happen when they happen. And so COVID didn't really stop the wedding industry, funnily enough, certainly less.
Yeah.
But
Postponed a few things, but yeah, still happening.
Still happening.
And then hectic few years catching up as well. Yeah.
It was like the Goldilocks era.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone was like so flush. But the terrible thing with that was the following year when it wasn't so flush.
Yeah.
All the provisional tax just about done me over. But that's okay. We're still standing.
We're rebuilding now. Yeah, so good. You stock a beautiful curated range, and as you say, you're not for everyone. You have kind of a specific look, I'd say. How do you kind of go about selecting the designers you have, the dresses that you bring into store? What are you kind of looking for?
It's funny, you know, I was looking at these questions and I was like, how do I pick a dress? It's that saying, you know when you know. You see it and you just go, oh yeah, that's got everything where it needs to be. And I think after however many years I've been doing this, I've got so much data in my mind of what works on different bodies. And like even the subtlest curve of a neckline, I'll be like, that's not it, or that's really it. And I mean, I've worked with 15 different designers over the years. I've got 3. One of them's been with me from the beginning, Eva Lindau. They're not going anywhere. And now we've also got Veranda West and Wona. And they're all like so different from each other. And I think for me, like there's always an element of I need to pick stuff that feels, you know, unique and ahead of its time, but you also need to have your classics that will always draw people in. So yeah, it's a bit of a, you know when you know.
Yeah, it's just an intuitive gut thing at this point.
It is. It totally is. And then like there's dresses that you'll pick and you'll think, okay, I'm going to get that in 2 sizes. That's going to be an amazing dress this season, and it's not. Yeah. And it flops. Like I make heaps of mistakes, don't get me wrong. But then I make some really good decisions. And so, yeah, that's been really cool. I think the trends that are in fashion right now are very me. We've got a lot of like very gothic, and when I say gothic, I don't mean I mean gothic.
Black wedding dress.
No, exactly. I mean gothic
corseted
in terms,
and like
and just the ornate detailing is very gothic per se. So that is very me. I'm very into, like, I love historical fashion. I have studied the Tudor era. And so when I see the basque waist and the Victorian hips, like, I can get so excited about that sort of thing, you know? And I love seeing brides just be real brides. And what I mean by that is it doesn't have to be a big dress, but they don't pick a dress for anyone other than themselves. Yeah. You know?
They really just lean in.
Go for it.
Yeah. Love that.
This is the day.
Yeah.
Because the dress is like, the vows are the most important. They seriously are the most important thing. And I think a lot of people forget that. But the dress is the one thing that has an effect on how you feel inside, but also how you feel outside and how people perceive you. The flowers don't affect your inside. The dress affects your inside. You know, so
so true. Love that. Do you also offer custom designs from scratch? And can you talk to us a bit about that process from design to the wedding day?
Cool. Well, I love that you asked this question because this is something that is in the works. It is something that I've always wanted to do, but it takes a lot of time to build the trust and to build the brand, right? So I always started with brands, but I've always wanted to go down the custom route. And I've done a few. The gorgeous Georgette is going custom, and we did, I don't know if you saw the beautiful Saini. She was gorgeous Tongan, like regal queen, and she had all the flowers all over her skirt. That was one of my very first customs, and I've done a few, but the brides haven't wanted to share photos or whatever, which of course you respect. But I reckon from maybe early next year, I'll have enough custom girls in my portfolio to rejig my website to show it as an offering. So yes, we absolutely do. What does that look like? It starts with a normal fitting. Try on dresses, see what works, and you might fall in love with something exactly the way it is, or you might fall in love with something that's the top of that, the bottom of that, the strap of that, the fabric, like cool. We can often do that with our designers too. or you end up thinking, no, I need to create something from scratch. I don't think any bride should start there. I think they should start with the fittings, and if they end up there, cool, let's go down that route. But what happens when we get there, we will concept up a sketch, and then we will do a toile or a mock dress, a calico. So we'll get the pattern perfectly fitted, and then that starts to do the, you know, the work in the actual fabric. Then we receive the actual dress, and then there might be some further tailoring if there's been body changes or whatever. So it's a little bit more of a hands-on approach, but it is amazing. And if you can trust your stylist and you can trust your person that you're trusting to do that, like real magic comes from going down that route.
So good.
So good.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, just starting with trying a few things on, seeing what you like. And I think people are often surprised, or they see something online and they think they know what they want in terms of a wedding dress, but sometimes it's quite different to your style, your everyday style. So yeah, it's funny hearing those stories, then makes sense trying them on and then ending up custom if that's the way you're going to go.
It will be very obvious.
Yeah.
It won't, like, I think being open-minded is the best thing you can do. And the wedding industry is a different place to what it was 5 years ago, right? We all know that. And internet, Facebook, sorry, not Facebook, we were talking about Facebook before, anyway, Instagram, Pinterest, whatever. It has made things a little bit more complex in brides' minds, I would say, because there's so much content and, you know, there's this whole, like, we don't need to get into that. It's a vortex. But I think, people can come in. And what does what performs well online and dresses that go viral online, you know, people go, oh my God, that's amazing. But it can be vastly different. And like for me, I think brides need to focus on the dress that makes them feel the most them. If you're trying to find the dress that makes you feel the most beautiful, you've already lost the battle, because beauty is subjective. And look for the dress that makes you feel the most you. You know, so don't worry about what you like online versus what you like on your body. And the other thing, I remember this. I had a girl come in and she was upset. She was a mess. She was shaking. She was crying. I said, what's going on? I bring her down here. I sat her down. Oh, I've fallen in love with a dress. And it was Trish Peng. And I've fallen in love with a dress with Trish Peng, but the dress has gone viral and I can't wear it because everyone's going to wear that dress. And she was so upset. And I tell you, Trish, I gave you the sale because I said, girl, the only people looking at wedding dresses are brides. How many brides are going to your wedding? She's like, no one. And I'm like, so no one's going to know that it was viral, you know? And so who cares if it was a viral dress? If that's the dress you love, no one knows. You know? So don't worry if you like the viral dress.
I love that. It's so hard for brides not to get caught up in that vortex. As you say, there's just so much content out there, which is amazing and inspiring, but can be really overwhelming. And like, you don't want to plan your whole wedding around, is this going to look good on Instagram? But if there is a bit of that underlying with people. It's a hard season to navigate in that respect. Can you kind of walk us through a bit of a realistic wedding dress timeline? When should brides start looking? What kind of stages throughout that process should they expect? And talk about the minimum time you'd feel comfortable working with as well.
Cool. So brides, please listen up, because this is really important. The ideal time frame is 24 to 12 months prior. You cannot do things too soon. You can definitely do things too late. And the other thing that I don't think everyone knows is, if you like lace, often lace is bought in one big roll. If that dress isn't doing super well for that designer and they run out of lace, no more lace, no more dress. I've had multiple, like I had a beautiful Vera Wang Victorian lace dress. I had like 4 girls want that dress, and no more lace, you can't have it. You know, so you can definitely do things too late. Can we accommodate short time frames? Yes, we can. Is it stressful? Yes, it will be stressful because your dress will be arriving the month of your wedding, and so you're doing rush fees, you're doing, whatever appointment you can get with the seamstress. So yeah, set yourself up for success, ladies. 12 to 24 months. And yeah, I think 8 months is kind of the minimum. 6 months to get the dress made and sent, and then that's 2 months for your alterations. And like, I wish everything went perfectly, but the reality is sometimes things go a little bit amiss, and so you need those alterations to tweak things. So just give yourself time. You know?
Have a decent engagement, or even start looking before if you know it's going to happen. I know people do that. Like, I get inquiries like, hey, we're not engaged yet, but just checking this date. And, if you're going to have like a 6 to 8 month engagement, that is wise. Like, so many vendors book out so early, and you'll have your books kind of full at some point. So, avoid those panic calls last minute.
And different cultures do things differently. Like, I know in Chinese culture specifically, and maybe Korean as well, they actually plan the engagement just as much as the wedding itself. So they know they're getting engaged, they know they're getting married, and so there's these like events around each, And we love it all.
Bit of chaos.
We love it all.
We kind of touched on it already, but wedding dress shopping can be such an emotional and quite vulnerable experience sometimes. What do you notice that brides kind of carry with them emotionally when they come in here?
The pressure of being a bride. There is so much pressure on women. It's like night and day between the bride and the groom. If it's a traditional bride and groom wedding, they carry so much pressure, and I wish I could tell them, to relax and to not stress, but that's way easier said than done. Like, oh God, I was exactly the same, like there's just so much pressure, and I think they carry this fear of, I'm not going to like what I see when I look in the mirror. And, it's very confronting for people. Women in general avoid mirrors. Not all, but some. They don't want to look at themselves in the mirror, especially not for 90 minutes with a bloody entourage all looking at them, and there's so much fear. And so, they carry fear and they carry this pressure. And the one thing I will always do when I see those nerves, and they're in pretty much everyone, is I will always try to start with a dress that's going to be a really good dress that's going to make them feel great straight away, because then you set the bar straight away, but you instantly like prove to them how stunning they are, and so that fear, it starts to go away. And for me, there is like nothing better than seeing someone come in a bit terrified and then leave feeling like transformed, and like seeing how incredible they are. It's like the best thing in the world.
And I know you're so good at it. Like I said, I feel like I've heard so many stories, and like they obviously love the dresses, but they're like, Natalie just made me feel so amazing and confident and ready for their day. So it takes a certain kind of person, I think.
It's truly seeing someone. That's what it is. I would never treat someone like a number. And Alia and Mishan, my other girls, like they're the same. Like, it's not always about, of course we want to sell dresses, we have to pay our bills, but like, giving someone a great experience, even if they don't go ahead, they're going to tell people, right? So it's like you can never lose. But like truly seeing someone and like that just kind of interaction just doesn't really exist anymore. Everything online, and like everything's about speed, and this is like this one time that's like slow and meticulous and particular. So I love it when people are particular and when they're fussy and all of those things. Like, I encourage it. And I'm like, why don't you like the neckline? Why don't you like the lace? Like, get into it, know?
Yeah.
It's the one time.
I think, I've unfortunately heard some horror stories from people going to other places and just being made to feel really awful, whether that's,
Totally.
they're not a sample size or
Which, by the way,
confidence piece massively.
no one is a sample size.
No.
Not so. Please get it out of your head. Are you going to be a sample size? Standard sizes are a chart used as a guide only. I measure hundreds of women, and about 1 in 100 women will sit perfectly in a size. That's how rare it is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just archaic, but they serve their purpose.
Yeah.
And I could get into that. That's a whole conversation about like when to buy in standard size, when to buy in customs, all of those different things. But ultimately, hopefully the approach that bridal shop takes is going to be the right approach and save you the most in terms of altering and all that good stuff. But yeah, bridal's very old school.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, it seems obvious to us. Why wouldn't you do business that way, being kind to people, making them feel seen, welcome, but not everyone
Not
does.
everyone. I know. There are horror stories.
Yeah.
And still. It's like, what are you doing? Like, this is such a woman-dominated industry, which is so amazing. Like, if you're not a champion of women, get the bloody hell out of the industry, quite frankly.
Right.
Get out.
New Zealand is too small, like those stories go around, so
we all know.
You want to be on the positive side.
We're spilling a bit of tea, Lydia.
I don't know, call anyone out, but it's very interesting, the off mic stories I hear just doing the podcast as well, but always glowing reviews from you, so cool. I know that people so appreciate that, and that makes such a difference in what can be a really stressful season. Touching on your entourage that people might bring along, there can be too many opinions in the fitting room. Have you seen situations where someone's voice kind of overpowers the bride's or how do you sort of bring that focus back to what she truly wants?
It's a really hard one because there's so many different dynamics and you don't understand all the like nuances of those different relationships. So you do have to be very careful. Yeah. Have I told people off for being absolutely just unnecessarily brutal? Absolutely. Yeah. If I can see the bride getting upset, I will say enough is enough. You're not an expert. That's a really, really hard one to navigate. It's not super common, but I honestly, if I could tell brides to do their wedding dress fittings on their own, I would. Honestly, it's so much calmer for the bride in an already pretty full-on charged situation. They are charged. You get these entourages come in and there's this palpable energy of so many different emotions. Because often you have people that are jealous that so-and-so's getting, there's just so much. And so, it can really take away from the overall experience and it can really confuse the bride. Because there's so much pressure on brides. Yeah.
Do you give them any guidance, try to just bring 2 or 3 people? Or...
Look, we have a maximum of 5 people, including the bride. Our shop, this space where we do our fittings, is really small. Some of our trains, people literally have to move because the train's engulfing them, and that is plenty big enough, for guests. Yeah. But ultimately people want to do what they want to do. And I also appreciate sometimes you've got mum, you might have grandma, you might have a daughter, and so you've got 4 generations, and those are beautiful moments too. Mostly it's beautiful, mostly it's good. If there's someone who needs to be told, we will.
So good. There can be family pressure across a lot of the wedding, especially when it comes to guest lists. And then, I know that people navigate that with mothers or mother-in-laws or just about the whole style and look and everything. So I think keeping it tight.
Yes.
Even I've heard a bride say, I just didn't tell anyone certain details.
Cool.
I told them things, but I just chose not to share that because I didn't want those opinions.
Coming back to what I said earlier, where look for the dress that feels the most you, because of that exact reason. You will never please everyone.
Yeah.
Like, beauty is so subjective, and you know, yes, grandma will have a different opinion from your hype girlfriend, who's also like, she's Gen Z.
You know, do you want to dress like grandma?
You know? Yeah, and like everything, it's just you just can't let those opinions get to you.
Yeah,
but they do. They really do. And do you know what? It's sometimes the fact that people are judging the dress based on the fact it's not the right size, and they're going, oh, but you know, that's sitting a bit weird and it's making your back look like it's got a back crack. And I'm like, this is not the dress she's walking down the aisle in. So like, we have lots of lace-up backs, because lace-up backs, they are adjustable. We can put a size 2 in there and a size 16, and it's okay for everyone. And so I'll say to them, please know that we can do zips if you'd prefer, or buttons or whatever. And then constant comments about, oh, the backs. And I'm like, out the chimney you go. You know, trust the process.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I love that. And yeah, coming alone, I think as well, like, trust your own opinion, and then your
100%.
stylist as well, designer, like, yeah, amazing advice. What are some little things that brides kind of forget or overlook when it comes to their dress, throughout the whole process? So planning alterations, undergarments, accessories, anything like that.
The only stuff that comes to mind, morning of, don't wear a bra. You'll have bra strap indentations. I highly recommend some Clutch glue. So Clutch is a brand that started like a fashion tape kind of alternative. Fashion tape can be quite okay, but it doesn't last. It's not hard wearing. So if you've got like some little beautiful lace details on your bust, Clutch glue, stick it down, because nothing will annoy you more, or annoy me, and I won't post a photo on Instagram, than like a bit of lace that's sitting out the wrong way. So like Clutch glue down those little details. If you've got low back, or you've got like a neckline and you want it to sit really flush on the body, because your body's soft and your dress is often very structured, so it can move. You know, like classic signing the register and the bride and do you know what I mean, right? So that's a really good tip. Also, bring a safety needle and thread. If you have a zip on the back of your dress, zips, I'm hoping they're all YKK zips, which are the best industry zips, but zips are not, they cannot be guaranteed, okay? Because girls like their corsets quite tight, zips can pop. They can, okay? It's never happened to me. Touch wood, touch all the wood, but I know that it has happened to people, and so God forbid something burst on the dress on the day, stitch yourself back into the dress. Going back to the zips, lace up corsets, even if they're just inside the dress, you put that bit of insurance in the dress. I wish I could tell everyone to have like an additional bit of security built within their dress if they do have a zip. Steam your bridesmaids' pajamas, robes, so that they're not all creased in the, this is for you as well, right? You'll be stoked. You know when they're all bloody creased?
Yeah.
You're like, girls, steam the PJs.
And do it the night before from the makeup artist perspective. We don't want to be steaming your fresh makeup in here. Yeah.
Those are maybe things that people forget.
Yeah.
Those are my top 4 tips for you there, Lydia.
Love that. Just a little insight for you. So good. Are there any kind of trends that you're noticing brides gravitating towards this year? We've probably mentioned a couple of things, but is there anything you wish brides knew or want them to do while choosing a dress? Yeah,
we did touch on it before. Definitely like basque waists, drop waists, those are really big this season. But I don't think that Victorian look, that basque waist look, I don't think it's a a lot of people argue it's the mason jar of weddings. And if you don't know what we mean by that, mason jars were very popular one season. I'm sorry, but this is just so incorrect. As I mentioned earlier, you know, this has been in fashion from the height of fashion. The first fashion influencer, let's call her, was Queen Elizabeth Tudor. She was so influential that when her teeth started to rot, the women would make their teeth look black because her teeth were black. Do you know what I mean? This woman was a fashion icon. And yeah, the basque waist originated from then. And so it's been in fashion for hundreds of years. So no, it's not the mason jar. Thank you, TikTok. And yeah, that is very in fashion. But I think also like the whole, I call them an anti-bride. And they're so cool. They're so cool. They're wearing like vintage. They're getting shot with like cigarettes and McDonald's, and they're so cool. So I think there's like two extremes in fashion right now, which is pretty spectacular.
It's the like 90s vibe we're seeing a bit, and even 80s, the like big,
And I think tulle is about to be very big, and taffeta. And I never thought we would see taffeta in fashion because Princess Diana terrified everyone with her silk taffeta because there were so many creases on her dress. Do you remember her dress? But I think taffeta and tulle are coming. Yeah, I do. And I think we're getting bigger and bigger and bigger in terms of our silhouettes, which is amazing. I have no room for these dresses in my shop, but I will
make it work.
Yeah, I will.
It's funny. Yeah, things do kind of come back around, or we're looking at those past eras for inspiration. But I think I agree. It's not the mason jar. It's still kind of classic. And I think there's so many people that sort of worry about having this super timeless wedding. Like, how can I make it not date? And I think, don't worry about that. Yeah, do you have any thoughts?
I have so many thoughts, Lydia. I think, I'm going to ruffle a few feathers here, okay?
Go for it.
I don't think people actually know what it is to be timeless a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. To be timeless, you need to be that. You need to look like you could be in an era 20 years ago, 60 years ago, or, you know, in the future, whatever. And when I think of timeless, I think of Princess Catherine in her Sarah Burden full lace ball gown. I think of Hailey Bieber, full lace, off-white, custom design. I think of Grace Kelly. All of these dresses have one thing in common, that's lots of detail. And most brides, they come in, they want to be timeless, they gravitate to the total opposite of that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but don't worry about what a future you is thinking about the photos. Like, come on, live in the present. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think this obsession with being timeless is really damaging brides in terms of being able to truly enjoy their wedding day and the dress shopping experience. Simple can be timeless, but so can detail. And coming back to what I've said 2 times already, go for the dress that feels the most you. Because you're going to look back on those photos, despite if they age or not, and you're going to know that dress made you so happy.
Love that. Such good advice. I think it's just this obsession with the timelessness, but I think nothing is truly timeless. Like I've said before on the podcast, you look at like your parents' wedding photos from the 80s and you can tell it's the 80s, but that's kind of iconic. Like it's of that time. So, you know, we're going to look back in 20, 30 years, whatever it is, and be like, that was 2025 and that's amazing. It'll all come back around probably.
Absolutely. Like I mean, it's arguably the most anticipated influencer wedding, Madeline White. Did you see what she wore? She wore multiple dresses. She did a Victor and Rolf. For anyone who doesn't know, Victor and Rolf, incredible fashion house. They really sort of question what fashion is in society, but they did the iconic upside down dresses. Do you remember them? They went down the runway, these dresses literally like ball gowns upside down. So she did a dress from them, and people in the Vogue comment section were literally like, horrendous, this is the wrong dress for her, blah, 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 blah. But like, when you look at her, she is a bit rough around the edges and she is whimsical and playful, and this dress was that.
Yeah.
It was her. Everyone was sort of commenting on these fittings of her, that she should have gone with this Lea de Gloria, this perfectly structured ball gown that was like rigid. It was so regal. And like, cool, yeah, she looked perfect, but it wasn't her.
Yeah.
The dress she went with was her. And so, yeah, coming back to that like obsession with being timeless and, you know, what is the future you going to think when they look back in 40 years? Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Like,
Agreed.
yeah. Madeline White, her Victor and Rolf, it was like extreme drop waist with big tall skirt, and she had like butterflies and flowers, and it was epic.
So good.
Yeah, so
lean
cool.
in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bold. Love it.
Yeah.
You've maybe kind of answered this already, just around what a truly great shopping experience feels like, not just in terms of the dress, but the emotions and the energy in the room. Did you want to say anything else there?
Do I want to say anything? It's a really bold claim. It should be one of the best days of your life. That's how it should feel. That's what I set out to do with my brides, is to give them a once in a lifetime experience that will be like such a core memory for them. And that's kind of it.
Yeah.
I really do try to give people something that feels magical. That's why the shop is the way it is. That's why, like, you know, we do things the way we do. And I'm not going to give away the stuff that we do. You have to book in, okay? But yeah, we do. We have a process, and we try to create moments that feel truly magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. I wonder, just reflecting back on your personal wedding planning experience and wedding day, is there anything you sort of learnt from being a bride? I imagine there's a lot, but yeah, that you sort of bring into your work.
I think, like, in terms of advice, I feel like there's so much advice around relax, do your meditations, you know, look after yourself, It's so much easier said than done.
Yeah.
What's actually helpful is to accept that you are going to overthink, you are going to be obsessed with little details, and that there's a season for that, and just accept that and be okay with that. And I went to the edge of the earth to get the perfect pink, to the point that my florist had to spray paint the particular flowers the right pink. So like extreme level of detail, right? Do I look back and think, God, that was ridiculous? No, I don't. I look at those photos that are framed beautifully in my living room, and I look at them and I think, God, I have no regrets. Like, those photos, because photos and the wedding dress are the two most important things after your vows. So yeah, the point is, I regret none of that obsessive energy that I had around little details. I regret not one penny that I spent on things like getting La Lumiere to do beautiful chandeliers, because those photos captured everything perfectly. And yeah, just accept that it is a season to be a little bit obsessive. And what I think is helpful is to ask your friends and family, guys, I am going through it. I am sometimes losing sleep over the exact tone of my dress or whatever it is, and just ask for some grace. Do you know what I mean? I feel like everyone's like, relax, chill, do some Pilates, do this, meditate. That's not helpful.
Yeah.
I don't think so anyway.
There's all this kind of sentiment around a bridezilla as well, and you don't hear about a groomzilla, or like you're just expected to be like hectically stressed during that season, which maybe you will have a little bit of, which is fine, but any new project, everyone's been there, they've got some new exciting thing, and it's all they think about, right? We've all been there. It's exactly the same. So just accept that. Don't worry about it. You're allowed to be particular. You're spending stupid amounts of money on florals. Like, you know, lean in. So good. Amazing. So lovely to chat to you today. My last kind of question was just around any other advice, which maybe you've given so much already, but yeah, is there anything else you would kind of say to a couple planning their wedding at the moment?
don't write your vows on AI and actually put some time and energy into your vows. You'll know, because you've been to many weddings, when vows have been written with lots of care and when they haven't. And I honestly think people get so caught up in the wedding, and that's okay to get caught up in the wedding, but they forget what they're there for, which is to marry their partner. And, you know, I think that humans for millennia have been, you know, having these sacred ceremonies, weddings, funerals, whatever it is. And what makes them sacred and what makes them beautiful is those words that you share. And, you know, everyone there, and they're looking and they're being in that moment. And so that's the whole thing. I see these videos, you know, oh, I forget this was the whole point of life. This is the whole point of your wedding, is your vows.
Yeah.
And like, think about what makes your relationship so special. Do not use ChatGPT.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Such a great tool for so many things, but yeah, I think that is one way not to do it.
No.
Yeah, it can, I mean, we can talk forever about that, but it can feel like such a performative thing, I guess, and a lot of people are sort of nervous, especially around that ceremony time. And yeah, I've chatted to celebrants, and there's so much advice around, you know, focusing on each other, not worrying about anyone else, but yeah, remembering why you're there, what is the point, why you're doing it, is really what it's all about. So.
It is. It is. It's, the vows. Because, you can, I mean, we've covered it, but you can get wrapped up in the table settings. Yeah. And you will. But come back to the most important part.
Yeah.
Cool.
So good. I love that. Thank you so much for coming on. I know this episode will help a lot of people. So, yeah, really appreciate it.
Great. I'm pleased. Thank you, Lydia.